Post Road Pumpkin Ale. Let's see if we can actually record it this time. Hey, it's Brainmuffin back with another beer review, and normally this is not what you see. Normally you see the beer on this side and you see the cap on it still because it's not opened. Well, normally the camera records, and I had some brilliant, it's amazing how often I screw up the camera when I'm brilliant. Ugh, I cannot believe this. So, up today we have, it's that time of year where we're starting to get pumpkin beers, and we have Brooklyn, it says Brooklyn brand, I don't know why. I almost thought this was a knockoff of the Brooklyn Brewery, but it isn't. I don't know if, what's his name, sold his brewery. I'm going to have to look into this. This does concern me. Anyway, so pumpkin beer. I basically, when it comes to pumpkin beer, I like it or I don't. Most of these I rate maybe a 3.5 to 5, or I dump them out. I don't even know if I rate them. So let's get to this one, even though I've already poured it. And let's see if I can remember all the great things I said about this beer and the not so great things. So as you can see, we have a nice golden color, kind of a deep golden. No hints of red, so we don't have any deep roasted malts. We have a nice foamy head. It's got good head retention. For me, the right amount of carbonation, just slowly moving bubbles up. On the nose, we have hints of pumpkin and spice. I think we've got some cinnamon. We've got possibly allspice there. I've never made a pumpkin pie, so I don't know what spices are in it. But it's not overbearing. It's just kind of just hints of there. We have a little bit of hint of malt from the beer. So, in this one, when it's cold, it has a bitterness that lingers, and I've noticed now that it's warmed up a bit, it's not there. But if you're pouring this cold or drinking it straight out the refrigerator, you may notice this finish is kind of bitter. And to me, and it's still there, but it's very slight. And this, to me, is what detracts from this. What I get from this beer is that the pumpkin shows up kind of at the tip of the tongue, and it kind of washes over, and then kind of slowly fades away. It's not really huge. The pumpkin is nice and subtle. And it's very clean, as you can see, maybe you can see, and it's very clean beer. It's well crafted together. But what it seems to me, it's a beer that the marketing department says we need to make, and the brewers, they're like, okay, fine, we'll make one, but they don't put their hearts into it. So there's nothing over the top about this. There's nothing big. It's a nice sessionable beer, 5% alcohol. I don't know if I looked up the IBUs before. And it's basically one that I consistently rated a 3.5. And that's what I gave it before. 24 IBUs, so there's just mild bitterness, not really spectacular. There's no huge alcohol. There's no huge pumpkin smell. There's not any spices smell. To me, it's just a beer to have sitting around, maybe when it's a little cooler, and just kind of enjoy with friends. I don't have a big beer pairing with this. To me, it's when you're just going to have some mild cheeses and some mild meats and sit around and chat with friends, where the beer is not, it's important, but it's not the main thing. And to me, so that's why I say this is like a B- effort. Like it doesn't feel like the brewers really put their heart and soul into this beer, and it kind of comes out. It's like, okay, we're going to make a good one, but we don't want to make a lot of it, and we'll sell it, and we'll say we have a pumpkin beer, and that's about it. I've had a lot worse. Many of your mass-produced, your mega brewers have been trying to get on this pumpkin craze, and their beers are horrible. It's amazing the difference between a mega brew beer, even when they try to be craft. And I know those brewers are talented, and most likely it's the marketing department the other way around saying you can't do that, can't add that, it'll make it too expensive, and the finance departments, and so they make a really crappy beer. This was the middle of the road. Now, if you question pumpkin beers and you're not into really big beer flavors, this actually may be the beer for you, because I'm sure there's people out there watching saying, well, wait a minute, I've had that, I'd give it a 4.5. That's fine, because if you're used to those smaller profiles, this is a good way to kind of check out what are these pumpkin beers like that we start to get this time of year. And some use canned pumpkin, some use whole pumpkin. It just depends on the brewery. Some put it in the mash, some put it in secondary. Southern Tier makes an Imperial. We're going to be rating that one soon. It's going to be great. And that is an over the top beer. So this is just kind of a middle of the road beer that's just decent and is not bad at all. So yeah, it's more as it opens up, the spices are there, the expected aromas are there, but it's not, to me it's like without that bitterness in the back end and a little more pumpkin flavor. This is definitely a solid 3.5. So it's very close to being that. It's like a B- by 2 points. And it could be a solid B by just a little bit more effort. That's why it feels, I've had other Brooklyn beers that are much better. So it feels to me like, hey, the brewers were told to make it, so they made it, but their hearts aren't into it, and this is what we get. So, have you had the pumpkin ale from the Post Road Pumpkin Ale from Brooklyn? You think it's great? You think it's horrible? Please write in the comments below. Thanks for sharing my videos. I got more people tweeting my videos and retweeting. Follow me on Twitter as Brainmuffin. You'll know when these things come out, when I post them. And my other posts, we've got other things coming. I'm also on the fan cast when that's starting to really pick up steam. We follow World Class Bullshitters, we talk about stuff, but we're also starting to branch off into our own things. So you see some things in there, and I'll be getting some beers soon from other parts of the country that I can't get around here, so it's going to be great. If you got a beer you want me to review, please let me know. If you got a beer you want to send me, please message me and we'll make arrangements, all right? Thank you very much. Thanks for stopping by, and we will see you later. Yeah, we will. Okay. So let me just do this, and I will look it up. Post Road Pumpkin Ale. No, the focus should not change. Just because the focal length. Buncha yay!